Have you been wondering what happened to the legendary Curtis Mayfield cause of death, widows, and 10 children? Curtis Mayfield was a renowned figure in the R&B scene of the 1960s and 1970s. He gained immense prominence for his songs' profound social and political insights. Beyond his musical endeavors, Mayfield embraced the roles of both a devoted father to 10 children and a loving husband. So, if you're a Curtis Mayfield fan or simply curious about this legends, hit the like button and let's dive in. Born in 1942 in Chicago, Mayfield's upbringing was deeply shaped by his grandmother's traveling soul spiritualist church and the gospel melodies that resonated with him each Sunday. His immersion in the church choir followed shortly. Guided by his mother, he acquired piano skills, and at the age of 10, he independently picked up the guitar. By 12, he was already crafting his own songs, a step that soon led him to leave formal education behind. At 14 years old, Mayfield's path crossed with Jerry Butler's in a church setting, leading them to form a group known as the Roosters. Despite their promise, a name change became necessary, transitioning them to the Impressions after audience reactions mimicked crowing sounds during performances. Curtis Mayfield's initial rise to prominence unfolded as a member of the Impressions, an R&B ensemble. While initially contributing as a background vocalist, fate shifted when the group's success soared, prompting Jerry Butler to depart and Mayfield to step forward as the lead singer. Rapidly, Curtis Mayfield emerged not only as the primary vocalist but also as a gifted songwriter, accomplished guitarist, and adept record producer. His message music wielded considerable influence during the civil rights movement, leaving a lasting impact that endures to the present day. Songs like "Keep on Pushing," "People Get Ready," and "We're a Winner" transcended their musical status to become anthems that resonated with the movement championed by Martin Luther King Jr. These tracks stood as powerful representations of Black pride, resilience, and empowerment. The group's debut success, "For Your Precious Love," managed to break into the top 20 of both R&B and pop charts, an exceptional achievement for a Black ensemble. Following this triumph, Jerry Butler chose to embark on a solo path, leaving Mayfield to carry on crafting hits alongside the Impressions. Notable among these were tracks such as "He Will Break Your Heart," "Need to Belong to Someone," "Find Yourself Another Girl," and the resonant 1961 hit, "Gypsy Woman." In 1970, Curtis Mayfield left the Impressions to embark on his own solo journey. One of his most renowned accomplishments as an individual artist was crafting the soundtrack for the blaxploitation film Superfly. This soundtrack achieved extraordinary success, selling over 12 million copies and earning Mayfield a Grammy Award nomination. Subsequently, Mayfield's focus largely shifted to composing soundtracks for movies. He contributed his musical talents to the film Claudine, featuring Gladys Knight and the Pips, collaborated with Aretha Franklin on Sparkle, and joined forces with the Staple Singers for "Let's Do It Again." By 1980, Mayfield relocated with his family from Chicago to Atlanta. Despite his albums of this period failing to replicate the immense success he enjoyed in the 1960s and 1970s, they were well received by his audience. Mayfield's decision to relocate to Atlanta was partially motivated by his desire to prioritize spending time with his extensive family. He was a father to 10 children in total, 2 from his initial marriage to Helen Mayfield, an additional 2 from a relationship with Diane, and a further 6 from his union with Althea Mayfield. Mayfield demonstrated strong commitment to his roles as both a devoted father and husband. However, his past was not without its shadows, as his son Todd Mayfield detailed in the book, Traveling Soul: The Life of Curtis Mayfield. In his book, Todd candidly portrayed his father as a man who was grappled with infidelity and emotional unavailability in many of his romantic relationships. Todd also revealed that his father had a history of physical abuse, an aspect he described as a puzzling manifestation of vulnerability. Despite this, Mayfield was notably non-abusive towards his own children. He actively engaged with them, organizing road trips and expending considerable effort to foster connections among his 10 children, even though they had different mothers. Chia Mayfield, another of the singer's sons, provided a different perspective. He characterized his father as a relatively ordinary parent, emphasizing that his children were largely unaware of their father's celebrity status during their upbringing. It wasn't until later in life that Chia grasped the extensive impact of his father's musical influence. Mayfield's accident and death. Tragedy struck on August 13, 1990, during a concert in Brooklyn, when a lighting rig collapsed onto Mayfield while he was performing on stage. The substantial rig caused him severe damage to his multiple vertebrae, resulting in Mayfield's paralysis from the neck down. In the subsequent year, Mayfield received the honor of being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, once as a member of the Impressions and later in 1999 as a solo artist. In spite of his physical challenges, Mayfield persevered to create one final album titled New World Order. This remarkable feat involved recording the album one line at a time while he lay down due to his paralysis. The album was released in 1996. Unfortunately, the toll of his health struggles continued. In 1998, Mayfield's battle with diabetes necessitated the amputation of his right leg. Tragically, he passed away at the age of 57 on December 26, 1999, at North Fulton Regional Hospital in Roswell, Georgia. Before his passing, Mayfield entrusted his longtime manager, Marv Hyman, with the responsibility of overseeing his estate and the Mayfield Family Trust. In his will, Mayfield designated his wife Althea and their 6 children, along with 2 of his other children, as beneficiaries. In 2003, Althea initiated legal proceedings by filing a court motion, seeking the removal of Marv Hyman from any involvement in her late husband's financial affairs. Her claim was rooted in allegations that Hyman had misappropriated millions of dollars from the Mayfield estate within a span of fewer than 4 years. Althea further alleged that Hyman had resulted in tax complications for both her and her children, going so far as to issue a threat to withhold her quarterly income payment when she requested his removal as the executor. In 2009, Hyman eventually resigned from his position on the estate board. Althea has taken on the role of overseeing the estate's operations. In her capacity, she collaborated with Lionel Richie in 2017 to develop a feature film centered around the life of Curtis Mayfield. However, the status of the film's production is not definitively established at this time. Althea Mayfield, the wife of the late Curtis Mayfield, passed away after a valiant 2-year struggle with cancer in 2021. Althea played a pivotal role in managing the affairs of the Curtis Mayfield estate and took on the crucial responsibility of caring for Curtis after his debilitating injury in 1990. Her compassionate and nurturing nature will be deeply missed by all those who had the privilege of knowing her. In addition to his impactful lyrics, Mr. Mayfield also made significant contributions as a funk and rap trailblazer. His musical compositions incorporated intricate combinations of bongos, bass, horns, and distinctive wah-wah guitar sounds, which gained a fresh resonance when artists of the 1980s and 1990s, such as Ice-T, Mary J. Blige, and Diggable Planets, started to sample his compositions, breathing new life into his musical legacy. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you on the next video.